Morning, everybody, and happy Motivation Monday here at Life of Joy Foundation. This is your founder and executive director, Joy Cortina, here at Life of Joy. And hello, it's so good to reconnect with all of you. And I know it's been a little while since I've had the chance to do one of my Friday with the founders. It's been a crazy couple weeks, but we've just been really settling into our fall campaign and this last stretch that we have through the end of the year. And I'm so excited to announce that we actually are kicking off our first ever Hope Week here at Life of Joy, where we're going to be just doing something a little bit different every day here at Life of Joy for Hope Week. It kicks off this Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. We're going to run it through Giving Tuesday. So it's going to be a combination of outreach efforts, for advocacy efforts. It's going to be fundraising efforts. So quite a few things that we're going to be featuring throughout the week, and some shout outs and some just love to our community and our supporters. And one of those things is the kickoff of our fall gratitude exchange. This is our third annual exchange that we've got going on here at Life of Joy for the fall. And I'm just so excited to bring in one of our supporters and one of our support team here at Life of Joy. His name is Sal Scatino. He's a licensed therapist. I'm going to bring him in on screen, and we're going to talk a little bit about the value of practicing gratitude. So, Sal, let me see if I can get you in here.
Good morning.
Good morning. So,
See
thanks
ya.
so much for joining us, Sal.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. It's so good to reflect on this. I love these gratitude exchanges, these gratitude challenges. We've typically called it a challenge in the past, but we decided we wanted to make it a little bit different this year and call it an exchange, because really for two reasons. One, right, it's a practice that really only takes a few minutes a day, right? So you're really just trading a few minutes out of your day, and exchanging that time to build more peace, more joy, more hope in your world. And that's really what we view it as. And we also have these two amazing exchange groups that we've opened for participants to engage in our gratitude exchange this year. So we have one on Facebook here, and then we also have a group me group that we've launched, which is especially greater for our younger followers and the teens that we've have in our mix. But I just want to make a note real quick, Sal, before you comment, because I'm just so excited for you to share what you shared with us at our last teen support group. You guys, just an amazing study that Sal is going to share about practicing gratitude. But there are those, I think, that come into these challenges that are, or these sorts of exercises, right, that are kind of already in the mix of doing, you know, doing practices that help to build positive habits, right? They're already kind of in the mode of doing those things. And then there's people that have never done anything like this, or who quite frankly are just in the midst of such struggle, right, and such darkness that they feel like they can't even fathom exchanging a few minutes a day to do something like this. They might think that it's not worth doing, or that it's not going to make a difference, or that they just don't have the time to do it, right, because of just so many stressors and demands that might be pulling on them. So this is particularly a message, I feel like, for those folks who might have that kind of conversation going on in their minds when they look at opportunities like this. Because I can tell you, I know from my experience, this has just been such a life changer, this sort of practice for me. And I'll talk more on that. But Sal, can you just share your 2 cents and about that study that you shared with us?
Of course, of course. And I think you already touched on this, but for us, the thought of adding something more to our day sounds exhausting, and we tell ourselves we don't have enough time. It's going to be more on my docket that I already have a full plate, so it's going to be even more overwhelming. But so what we've come to understand is that we're good at dwelling on the negative, what's not going well, but we're poor at dwelling on what's going positive in our life, what's good about our lives. So in 2005, a famous psychologist known as Martin Seligman, he's the father of positive psychology, he did this really neat study where he sent a questionnaire and an exercise to 50 participants. And what he asked them to do, well, first he got the demographic background information. He realized that they were on they all had an average of 34 on the depressive scale, which means it's impossible to get out of bed. Everything feels exhausting, very isolated from friends and family. So life is really difficult, and they feel stuck in their day to day. So what he asked them to do is, at the end of each day, take about 5 to 10 minutes to write down 3 things that went well and why they went well. So what went well is us seeking in our mind what are things that we are grateful for that happened during the day. And then you back it up with the rationale, the reason as to why we believe that went well. And so what he found is that after 1 week of this exercise, this no more than 5 minute exercise, that 94% of the participants had a new average of a 17 on that depressive scale. So what that means is that depressive symptoms, so symptoms like feeling like you can't get out of bed, feeling like you're not worth it, feeling like there's nothing to look forward to, were eradicated, and more positive emotions were replaced in the mix. Now that's incredible if you think about it. So really what happened there, if we take a sidestep from the statistics, is that people were allowing themselves to look in their environment and say, what is going good? What can I dwell on that is positive within my life? And then therefore you're changing your attention and energy on more enriching, encouraging things, as opposed to our normal default, which is always looking at, okay, what are the problems or the possible harm that's happening in my environment, and how do I prepare against that? Because that's our survival reptilian brain acting there, right? That's always going to be our default. But the beautiful thing about the brain is that we've got this wonderful neocortex, which says we can stop, think, and rationalize. And so this is where we can bring back the control and the power into our hands of changing our perspective and attitude on the world for it to be more positive and more gratitude inducing.
Mm. It's so powerful, and I mean, I can certainly attest to this myself. I mean, one of the reasons that I have ventured into this whole thing and starting Life of Joy, right, is because of my own personal struggles with mental illness and with depression and anxiety in particular. And you guys, this has just been an incredible tool for me many times over. And you just kind of get stuck, those of us particularly that struggle, or even those of us that maybe don't normally struggle, with mental health challenges. It's just been like the last 2 years with the pandemic, I think it's thrown a lot of people off. Also, we're heading into the holiday season. A lot of times November, people start to kind of get the winter blues. I've been talking to so many people, across our teams, across, our Life of Joy community, and it's people are feeling it. And it's like, I don't know, it's just like we're all kind of like off bait, off center, and it's just there's a lot of that feeling going on. And I think, as we've tried to kind of open up the world and kind of get back to life, it's been challenging to kind of readjust to those busier schedules again and manage everything again. And I feel like there's a lot of scatteredness in people's minds, right? And so I feel like this is just such a great way to kind of center ourselves and to lift our spirits, right? And the fact that we can even share that journey with others, I think, even adds more value. And so I feel so convicted that this is just such a good time for us to do this. So thank you, Sal, for sharing that so much. And I just want to invite you all. We kick off on Thursday on Thanksgiving Day. Very fitting. It's going to run through the end of the year. So we're going to run it for a couple weeks, this gratitude exchange. And just like they did in the study, it's 3 things a day. It's 3 things a day that we're encouraging you to acknowledge. And it can be the smallest of things. We have some tips and guidance all throughout the whole exchange, to help you just build on your experience and to maybe think about things that you wouldn't think of on your own. And so just want to invite you in the mix, and we will put the link for you to opt in and to join one of those 2 exchange groups in the comments below. But Sal, thank you always for your support of Life of Joy, for the work that you do. I know you've been very busy.
My pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
Within your practice. And so always appreciate your support. And we're looking forward to this experience with everybody. And stay tuned for the rest of the details about our Hope Week coming up. And have a great, wonderful rest of the day.
Have a wonderful holiday, everyone.
Awesome.